search that fine for you. I do that 3-4 times again, I testify for you. I told I like you, that bitch, I do it all, and I'm around, you scared to do it. I'm not, as long as you joking now here for me, I ain't got it. My bitch, give me a do it, I ain't your body, as long as you drink.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Stormiana, and I am back with another lit video. Before we get started in today's video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias listed in the description box below. Now, first off, I want to shout out you guys. Thank you so much. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Like, we about 23 something subscribers away, and hopefully by the time I wake up in the morning, you know, those subscribers will be there. I am in my bonnet because I just got out the shower. I just oiled. Like, I am exhausted. So this is definitely like a bonnet kind of cool story. This is the story time about my insemination. So as you obviously know, I do have two beautiful daughters, Mila and Journey. Mila is 4, Journey is 2. Mila is almost 5. Oh my gosh, I'm about to have a 5-year-old. So their process is just the same. They have the same donor, and I feel like a lot of you guys were like, okay, well, we know you're married to a woman. We know you're about to go through your divorce process. Where the hell is the kid's father? And while, of course, they do have a father, just like everyone in the world does, they actually were conceived via sperm donation, both of them. I'm going to first tell you about my thought into finding a donor. So there's a bunch of different ways you can go about this. Sperm bank, that's one option. Depending on what state you're in, there's actually a lot of funding for it. So in Philadelphia, where both my children were born and where I'm from, there's this place called Gayborhood. And if you know about it, you know that they help offer funding for not only sperm donations, they also help with gender changes as well. So this is one of the ways, depending on, again, what state you're in, you can get help with these things, okay? 1. So 2, you can find a friend. You can use somebody you know. You can either do NI, which is natural insemination, which is just obviously regular sex between a man and a woman, and boom, you get pregnant. Cheaper. I guess it would be free depending on if he wants to charge you for this or not. And you're more than likely guaranteed to get pregnant depending on making sure if his sperm count is pretty high, if you're healthy, and all that other stuff. The bad part about that is he might not know all his family history. You might not know certain things about him. Of course, you obviously want to make sure you're tested and everybody's tested, of course. But that is another way. The third way is Facebook. Please, 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 please understand. There seem to be a lot of children who are donor babies that were conceived via somebody on Facebook. So Facebook has groups, obviously, and if you go type in groups, sperm donor groups, there's going to be different groups that you can go into where there are a bunch of men in there, some who charge, some who don't charge. They post pictures of themselves, where they're in, what they prefer to do, whether it's AI, which is artificial insemination, NI, natural insemination again, what state they're in, if they charge, you know, for shipping or anything like that. So those are the ways that you can find a donor. So Mila and Journey's donor is Middle Eastern Indian. He is a man approximately in his 40s now, or late 30s to between late 30s to mid 40s, I should say. He is Middle Eastern Indian. What I do know about him, He is a college professor. He has a wife and children of his own. And the reason he donates is to obviously help women, to help women who are in lesbian relationships or who are just women who just want to have a child on their own. So here is how my process with my donor went. So one, he was very respectful. I had FaceTime with him. I've emailed him. We've had conversations on the phone. You know, we've done all of that with my ex. So at the time, I got pregnant in January. So he tracked my cycle, I believe, from November all the way until, so that I guess he could get a grasp on how it is. So I had to send in 10 pictures of ovulation strips when he asked and all of that type of stuff, you know. I signed a contract, obviously, him relinquishing his rights to the girls, me also making sure that it was stated that he could not have contact with the girls, because that is what I wanted. Now, I do know that there are some women who used him as a donor, or we have the same donor that sent pictures of the kids and everything. That is just not what I wanted. I'm not raising them with him, and I have absolutely no intentions to, so I felt like it would just honestly just be pointless. And I didn't want my kids to be a show as a success so that he can get other, I'm not going to say clients, because they're not paying him. This entire process was done strictly out of the kindness of his heart. So after him checking my ovulation and all of that, he finally shipped to us in January. So early January, I want to say like maybe a couple days after New Year's. So it came in a package that had what the hell are those things called, the cold packs, ice packs, and it was wrapped inside there. He also placed a syringe in there that's about this big, and he gave me the instructions on how to use it. He said you gotta insert it, and he said put your bottom, lay on your back, put your bottom on 2 pillows. Should I show you guys? I'm gonna show you guys a little bit so y'all can get an idea of what the hell I'm talking about, because I know I'm really about tired and I'm not really saying this right. All right, so here we go. So this is the way I laid, okay? Let me show you guys. So my butt was a little higher, so I'm sitting here like this. So when I did my insemination, I sat like this for at least like 4 to 6 hours with Milo. I fell asleep. I woke up like that. Legs was numb as hell. Like, I was watching a movie in my ex's mother-in-law's house. That's where I got pregnant at. And we were literally about to move. Like, we moved like 2 months after that. Waiting for the place that we wanted to actually be ready. So we did that. I threw up the next morning. Like the next morning, I went in there and I threw up. And this is a common thing with, now I've been pregnant 3 times and only 2 of my babies have made it. Each time, I think I'm just very fertile. Each time I've gotten pregnant, I am sick the next day. Or I know I'm pregnant. Like, I'll have a craving. I'll start to smell stuff really, really fast. So that was my process there. This took a long process, and I was actually really nervous, because when you get it shipped, you know, even just still FaceTiming him and seeing him and having conversations with him, it was just like, there's always a possibility that I could not get his actual sperm and it be someone else's. So I was really scared about that, especially when I actually had Mila, because when she came out, the baby looked Chinese. And I'm not saying like, just like everybody, you know, their face be swollen and everything. No, this baby look Asian. And then by the next night, I was just looking at her and I was like, you look like a little sand baby, like you're cute. But yeah, when she first came out, she looked really very much so from on the whole other side of the country from where he's supposed to be. And I was just like, I was really scared. So what I did was, instead of him being able to show us off, what I did was I allowed him to sent him pregnancy tests to let him know that it was positive. I went shopping for Mila when we got Texas. We got Texas back, I believe, sometime in February, like early February. And I started buying girl clothes off the bat because I knew my first child had to be a girl. I knew God would never in his life give me no boy, because what am I going to do with it? What would I do with a little boy? Now, I want a little boy now because I only have 2 girls. And it's just like, yeah, again, I'm continuing the cycle of no boys in my house. So, going back with Journey, or actually we can talk a little bit about my second baby. So I went to go get pregnant in October of 2020. And I lost my baby Thanksgiving of 2020. I didn't even know I was pregnant that time. Like, I was throwing up, I was sick, tired, and I kept taking pregnancy test after pregnancy test after pregnancy test, and they all came back negative. You know, I've only had to do, each time I've used my donor, I've only had to use 1 insemination. Now, sometimes he shipped like back to back. So do one day, next day you get another shipment and you can do it again. Depending on your ovulation window, he'll double ship. This time he shipped a couple times because it was just like, I'm not pregnant, and it turns out I was. So what happened was, I think she said it was like a silent heart attack. I don't know. I know I couldn't breathe, and I was really dizzy, and I was at work, and I ended up in the hospital. That was the next thing I remember. Like, I remember walking, and like I couldn't breathe, and everything like was just like floating around, and I, like, next thing I know, I was in the hospital. And by the time I looked up, their doctor was like looking at some papers, and he was like, whew, okay, I'm back. So he was like, the doctor came in. He was like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And I'm looking at him like, well, who the hell died? Like, I'm the one in the hospital. Who died? He was like, do you not know? And I'm looking at him like, what are we saying here? Now, this happened Thanksgiving Day, and he's like, you had a miscarriage. It was news to me because I've been taking pregnancy tests for the last month because of me being sick, me falling asleep places, like at work, standing up, nodding off sleepy. I'm like, I'm not pregnant. Like, I've been taking pregnancy tests. And he's like, well, I got a blood sample. And then he proceeded to tell me about this silent heart attack that I had. So I'm like, can we skip that? Like, that's not important. Like, I just lost a baby. Guys, I lie to you not. Everything's given. I'm still kind of broken up about that. Like, all of my children have been planned. I wanted Mila in September. She was born in September because I got pregnant in January. I literally planned out when I wanted to be pregnant. So losing that baby not only was a shock to me, but it hurt me, and I couldn't just help but feel like something happened. So what basically happened was that this baby was not planted in the right spot. And then after that, he told me, he said, I don't see any more children in your future. And he was like, is this your first one? And I was like, no, this would have been my second. I have a 1-year-old at home. He's like, I I don't believe you're going to be able to have children anymore. That broke my heart. So, although I know the relationship with my ex should have been ended, and I think we both knew we wanted to leave, I still wanted another baby. I wanted the same donor. So we went ahead and tried again with Journey. And it took me, Mila and Journey are 2.5 years apart. It took me that long to think about trying. And even then I was just like, this is not gonna work. This is just not gonna work. And then my miracle baby came, my Journey came, because when I went to the OBGYN, and they're like, you're pregnant, you're not supposed to be pregnant. They did so many tests to make sure Journey was growing right in the right spot and all that other stuff. So the second insemination was a little different, and I honestly wish my ex had not deleted the video off of her YouTube channel, because we actually filmed that. So I was laying on the couch, and this is, I think we're on our third apartment now, and about the same way, but not as high. I was just one pillow elevated, and I was just laying down. It didn't, I think because I had so much doubt that I would get pregnant again, I put little effort into this second process. So there's different methods you can use, not the syringe. Some people use the soft cup method, which I'm not too much knowledgeable on it, but I do know the basics. You just put it in the cup, and it just goes up the same way as soft cup would that you use for your period, and let it float down that way. But I do know you need to be at least an angle like this, so that gravity can come down and go down, which is basically going up once you actually stand up. So yes, both my children have the same donor. I still have access to contact him. It's actually been on my mind a lot lately, given the fact that I'm going through this divorce, and my oldest is not taking it well. She's trying to figure out where she comes from, and I believe that certain questions that she has, I feel like my donor might be able to actually answer. I feel like she has his eating habits. She eats like a true Indian. The girl eats extremely healthy. Journey, on the other hand, is definitely my black baby. That is my meat eater. Mila is more or less a vegetarian, just about. If she didn't like chicken, she would definitely be a vegetarian, because she doesn't eat anything else. It's vegetables, lettuce, rice all day long. So there's that. So yeah, let's go over the vocabulary for this as well. NI, natural insemination. AI, artificial insemination. If you contact the donor, whichever method you go through, and they speak on successes, that is how many women got pregnant and carried these babies all the way to term. And these babies are alive. So do not ask me how many children my donor has. I cannot tell you. I do not know. I've seen a lot of people. Mila actually has a twin, and this baby is born on her birthday, on the same day as her. They look spitting image alike, and the mother is Hispanic, and the baby's name is Lila. Her mother has a YouTube channel as well. I cannot explain it. I've never talked to her, but I know my ex came across her page, and she was like, oh my God, that looks like Mila. And when we looked on her YouTube channel, she actually said his name inside the video, and then I believe he commented on it, and she was just like, this is Lila. And I was like, oh my God, it was just like a mind-blowing thing. So that's a fun fact about that. They favor each other, and I mean, like, not even just a little bit. I mean, like, we didn't literally had the same identical kids. Like, she looks just like her. Keep the light on. You don't like the dark.
Yeah, and you know that I don't like bugs.
I know. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for my donor story. Here goes one of my Indian people now. Say hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. Mommy, I'm your daughter now.
You've always been my daughter.
Yeah, I'm your daughter. That's why I didn't want to be so bad each day when we overstay here. It's the weekend.
Oh, you think so? Go to bed.
You got candy over there.
Absolutely not. Go to bed. Good
You
night.
spilled that.
It's okay. I'm good. So yeah, guys, that is again, you know, I guess I want to say, depending on what your financial situation is depending on the method you want to go. I think you just need to work with what you like, what you're interested in, what you're not interested in. Oh, I did have some questions that were asked. Do you want another baby with your donor, or would you use a different donor? So if I were to have another baby and get pregnant again, it would have to be with my same donor. And I don't believe my donor is donating anymore because he's older. Again, I'm not particular. I cannot remember specifically his age, but I don't think he's actually donating anymore. I haven't reached out. I haven't asked. Having a baby has been on my mind. I want to say like 70-30, and 70 being no, 30 being yes. I want a little boy, but I do not think I'm gonna have a little boy, and I honestly, this is just not the right time. I'm just busy right now. I don't have time for that. Yeah, I don't have time for that at all. So yes, it would have to be the same donor. Not to judge anybody. I don't care who has how many baby dads or baby moms. I don't really care. As for me, no. I've already been an escort. Like I just don't want to add that to my resume. I really don't. So yeah, it would have to be the same donor. As of right now, I'm not looking to get pregnant. Of course, I get baby fever just like every other woman, especially when I'm on my cycle and the hormones are kicking in and I see a baby, or you know, I just look at my babies and I want to cry because like they're so big now, and that's that. Would your next baby be considered your ex's baby as well? So technically, because we're still married, any children that either one of us bear would honestly be the other's responsibility until we are divorced and get that cleared up. So I know it's up in the air to say if she ever was pregnant or not. I'm not sure. I don't know. Please don't quote me on it. But technically, yes, unless other parental rights is established. So if I were to get pregnant, like, because we are still married, that baby still would be her responsibility. And obviously I would not enforce that because I have not enforced it with the other two. So that's not something I'm looking into. I think there's like one more question. I think I wrote it somewhere else because I was looking really fast. Oh, will you ever let Mila and Journey meet their donor? So honestly, yes, when they're of age to understand this whole process, when they can actually fully understand this process, and only if he's open to it. And two, if I were to contact him and, you know, say that like I'm not sure how it would go because the contract is very airtight, like legal fees that it's just, I'm not sure if it's possible, but I would if the opportunity presented itself. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of culture to teach the girls about their culture, and I try myself as well. I introduce them to different foods and different things like that, especially Mila. Journey really doesn't much care what she eats, but Mila is very picky, so I noticed when I started giving her certain things or try to make certain Indian dishes, she tasted them very well. Even being around other Indian children, and I hope this doesn't sound racist, I have noticed how well she actually understands them, and it's really weird. I've actually had a couple Indian families follow me around in certain places like Walmart or the mall, because I believe they thought that I had their children. Like they look exactly like, if you put them up against other Indian children, they look exactly like them. So I have had that issue at least twice where I've looked at somebody and I told him to move because I realized he kept watching me and following me. And obviously, while they might have some of my features, it's always that skin complexion that's gonna be the eye popper. Like, how did I birth them? And I still ask myself that at the same time. Like, I don't know how it happened, but it happened, and they're here. So if the opportunity presented itself, I would allow my children to meet their donor, their father, and I wouldn't feel any type of way about it. And I definitely wouldn't be looking for a check or a payday or anything like that. Obviously I cannot legally, but if that were an option and if they wanted to find him, I would give all the information that I have for them to pursue that search. I can't make any promises to how it will turn out, but I'm open to it. So that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully by the time you see this video, I will be at 300 subscribers. I am so excited. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me, good, bad, or indifferent. Follow me on all of my social medias listed in the description box below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Right, and don't forget, you still might have time. The giveaway closes, you'll be seeing this today on Wednesday. It's Tuesday for me, but you'll be seeing this on Wednesday. The giveaway is closing at 10 p.m. So if you have not commented on any of my social media saying BTS giveaway, please do so, because I'm going to be giving out the $100 by the weekend sometime. It's just like I still have so much to do, so much homework to do. So get into that, and good luck to you all. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.